boss, Babajide Kolade Utitoju. Joining.
It's good to be here. On a day
The
like
veteran.
This. On a day like
It's good
this.
to have you on set.
Thank you, Veronica.
Ibrahim
has been my sparring partner for some time.
Okay.
Without gloves.
We were there together on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Right.
But it's good to do this with both of you.
Right.
And, it's a happy day for us at TVC News. It's our first day at work at our modern studios here at Eco Atlantic, and it feels good to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we've been talking about that right from the beginning of the show, how good it is that we're able to rise from the ashes of the previous studio and all of those incidents that we had, and then we managed through the times, and here we are. Today we are expecting the Lagos State Governor to join us and to touch on so many issues with regards to the transformation of Lagos. I recall that some time ago you had a conversation with him on some of these issues with regards to the transformation of Lagos. There are those who may not necessarily agree that Lagos State is transforming at the pace it should. Some say it's snail pace, snail speed, whichever way we might want to put it. But from that conversation, what were the things you saw the governor, trying to put in place with regards to the transformation of Lagos?
Yes, apart from this single-minded desire to transform commuting in Lagos, because it's very important. We are seeing Lagos doing what no state in our country is capable of doing. In fact, most times it's a whole country that embarks on some of the kind of projects that Lagos is embarking on, like the rail transport, for example, is a multi-billion-dollar project, and we've seen Lagos move into that at a very impressive pace. So, and going forward, they are going to roll out more lines to ensure that Lagos is effectively covered by rail transportation.
That's right.
This is really revolutionary. Sometimes we do not know the value of what we have. I believe that by the time all of those lines are rolled out completely and our people can move around freely without being trapped in traffic gridlocks, they will appreciate how valuable rail transportation is. It's still the best means of moving people around. It's still the best means of commuting. I'm not talking about speed. I'm not talking about, I'm not saying that it's better than air transportation, for example. But if you want to move people in tremendous numbers, rail transport is the way to go. And I'm happy that Lagos is investing heavily in that. Hopefully the governor will talk to us about the Fourth Mainland Bridge. Many Lagosians are eager to see that project come to fruition.
That's right.
It's been delayed for so long. We want to hear from the governor at what stage they are now, because the Fourth Mainland Bridge would open up a significant portion of Lagos. Look at Ikorodu, for example.
Yeah.
The Fourth Mainland Bridge will open up that whole area. And Ikorodu is such a sprawling community, bigger than the Ijebu-Ode, for example. And a lot of our people now are not even heading in that direction. People are going to Ikorodu to find accommodation, and Ikorodu is expanding rapidly. So this Fourth Mainland Bridge would enable us open up that corridor, and the economy of Lagos would then expand rapidly. You know, when infrastructure helps you to boost the economy. Look at the number of people who will be employed during the time when they are building the bridge. And those who sell food vendors, for example, they will also be engaged. You know, so when you focus on infrastructure, it's one big way of boosting your economy. I remember Obama saying after the recession of 2008 that we are going to spend ourselves out of recession. That means that the government was going to commit to infrastructure development as a way of galvanizing the economy. So I see Lagos benefiting tremendously from that Fourth Mainland Bridge, and I want to see the governor of Lagos move quickly to ensure that this project kicks up. It may not, I do not foresee that they will complete the project in its time, but government is a continuum. Whoever takes over after him will have the honor of continuing that project, but it's a very, very important project.
We've been seeing consolidated growth. You know, one governor takes it to one place, another governor takes it to another, and then you have a lot of people who will be saying, "What's there about Lagos? It's just like every other state." But then, if you look at Lagos state economy, it swallows even a country. You know, when it comes to revenue generation and all of that. But how do you see Lagos helping those who are moving into Lagos? You know, that urbanization and the growing population, taking care of them, especially in terms of housing. This is some of the questions I'll be looking to ask the governor as soon as it comes in. But how have you been, you know, viewing this, you know, so far? Because a lot of people are out there not having, you know, shelter over their heads, and some are sleeping under the bridge, even though they're trying to curb that over the years. But how far do you think Lagos has gone in taking care of this?
Yeah, a lot of housing projects were abandoned, and this governor has even completed some of them. You know, Governor Sanwo-Olu does not make a lot of noise about the work that he has done. And I've said this in the past, because if you must make noise about your work, you will also spend a lot of money.
That's right.
Some of the projects that the governor inaugurated in the month of December, I didn't even know they were there. For example, there was a very critical bridge somewhere in the Fakojaye that was inaugurated during that period. I didn't know that that bridge was there. So if you do not talk about some of the things that you have done, the housing projects that you've delivered, many people will imagine that you've not done so much. So governors must know that as much as they are committing money to infrastructure development, to improving the quality of the lives of the people, to improving the standard of education, the quality of instruction, and even the quality of education infrastructure, they must be ready to talk about those things. They must be ready to make a noise about those things. No one will blow your trumpet for you. If you got a trumpet, blow it like Nathaniel Bassey. You can see where that has landed Nathaniel Bassey.
So it's not about what the right hand gives. The left hand should not know about it. That doesn't have to do with governance.
No,
in governance, no, I don't.
You must be ready to talk about what you have done. Otherwise, nobody will know that you did it. In fact, they may even give the credit to someone else.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that the governor delivered some road projects in December that many of us didn't know were there. You know, and we assumed that we are current. So if some of us did not even know,
I mean, it has people who are responsible for letting the people know. So
no, but you see,
it means they are not doing their job.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. He has to make up his mind to set aside good money for publicity. And it doesn't come cheap.
Of course.
That's right.
Doesn't come cheap.
We'll collect our money. If
So it may not, the media people will work based on the resources available to them.
That's correct.
Yes. So
All right. There's this other matter that we've been talking about, the matter of, you mentioned earlier, the issue of people appreciating the rail transport that the governor is putting in place to address matters of traffic and movement and all of it. Do you think that perhaps the people haven't really understood, or that the government, like you were rightly saying, have not strategically communicated the importance of the effort is putting in place with regards to transport, rail transport, or that the people do not see it as a better alternative, so to speak?
Well, I think that as the governor continues to introduce new lines, the city of Lagos will be effectively covered, and more people will then be able to use those trains. More people will see those trains working, because the way it is now, it's yet to significantly cover the city of Lagos, and that's why there are still other lanes, lines that are going to be introduced. For example, the Lekki corridor. For example, there's a plan to take it to Lekki corridor. For example, to take this rail transportation initiative to the Lekki corridor. So what I'm saying is, with more parts of Lagos covered with the introduction of new lines, people will see that, okay, this thing has come to the environment. They will be able to make use of it. The more they make use of it, the more they see the big difference that it makes in their lives in terms of commuting from point to point. And at that point, more people will be able to appreciate this laudable initiative. I think that with time, more Lagosians will, because right now, it doesn't cover a significant portion of Lagos.
If it moves to Ikorodu, I think it will make a huge difference.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying even the fourth mainland bridge is important. The government must do whatever it takes to deliver that project, because it will be a real game changer, in my view, to open up that side. Why should we have a situation in which basically it's like Ikorodu, despite being such a sprawling community, what you can see is basically one major route lead to
In and out.
to Ikorodu. Whereas you can go through Lagos Island, for example. Once you are able to access the area through multiple routes, it will open up that area even more.
It's one thing for the state to develop, urbanize, work and health facilities and all of that. Another thing is for people to be able to have access to all of these things easily. While moving to those places, you don't have anyone threatening your life or ambushing you one way or the other. So that goes to the question of Lagos state security. How far do you think they've come? Because what I was saying, the reason why we have, drop in robbery, burglary is due to some of the gates that some states are raising and some streets are also, installing on their entrances. What do you think has really largely contributed to the security in Lagos State?
I think that when you compare Lagos to other states, no doubt about it, Lagos is the most secure state in Nigeria. When was the last time you heard about a major kidnap happening in Lagos? And don't forget, before even the kidnap of students happened in some of the states of the north, it happened in
Lagos. Okay, yeah.
But since then, how many such cases
have been pockets
have been
of
reported?
this incident? within certain areas.
When you
like
see
one
the
chance
thing,
and
when you compare that the cases that we have in Lagos to even some of the Southwest is the most secure geopolitical zone in Nigeria.
Yes.
But Lagos is still more secure than other states of the Southwest. Because when you compare its population and the fact that these things rarely happen here. Yes, I know carjacking happens a lot. You know, they've not been able to stop that. But there's improvement. And look at some kidnappers that the police dealt severely with inside the Lagos market the other day. That was to send a clear signal that, look, what is happening in other states, don't bring it to Lagos. Lagos introduced the Security Trust Fund. Other states are copying it now. And what that has done to help provide the police with the tools that they need. The patrol vans that they need, the boats, even helicopters that they need, that the Marine Police needs, for example, to police the waterways, the helicopters that they need to monitor what's going on in Lagos. So this equipment have helped the police in doing their job in Lagos and doing it well. And we must give the government credit for the fact that they kept Lagos largely secure. You cannot, when you look at crime rates in some states, and you compare what you have to what obtains in Lagos, the difference is like night and day. Lagos is far more secure than other states in our country. No doubt about it. I travel a lot. I know these things.
Absolutely.
We can only encourage them to continue to leverage on technology. Look at RRS. RRS is proof to us that even state police can work. Because RRS has one of the best equipment, you know, that are not even available at the national level. And they do a good job.
And there is this security.
They keep us safe, and they are disciplined.
Right.
You hardly hear of cases of, RRS men being involved in extortion and all that. Those things, we don't hear about those things. That means they are properly organized.
That's right.
And supervised.
And they are not starved of funds.
No,
they
they
are
are not.
security
Properly
trust
funded,
fund.
yes.
Because the Security Trust Fund ensures that, okay, the funding is available. And the governor also provides, it's not like he has left the funding of the security agencies to the
Federal government.
to even the Security Trust Fund committee, you know, and the big corporate players in our country, they are involved.
Yes, that's where I wanted to also go to, that these persons should support one way or the other to ensure that that fund is very much alive and active, so that these persons can function appropriately. But the other matter is the president's statement recently, where he said that the governors are a critical link to the matter of development, talking about food security and all of it in the country as a nation. And I'm wondering, from your perspective, how the state has contributed or supported the federal government's vision all the years, not just for this administration, but so far.
Yeah, governors must play their part in ensuring food security, for example, because they have the land. The land belongs to them, so they should invest more in agriculture, especially mechanized farming. Lagos is not as privileged as other states in terms of availability of arable land, for example, but Lagos continues to partner with other states like Ogun State, like Kebbi, to ensure that they help in defeating food insecurity.
That's right.
So I know that in that area, the president needs to work more with the governors to achieve his aim of boosting agri production. Yes, infrastructure is important, but nothing is more nothing is more important than having Nigerians being able to feed themselves. If a country like India, like China, can produce what they eat, we should be able to produce what we eat.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have enough arable land in our country.
And speaking of the man of the
we
moment,
should be able to do quality agri production.
Absolutely.
In our country.
Right. Speaking of the man of the moment, we have the governor himself
walking
walking in on set. Good morning.
Your Excellency, good morning to you. Good morning.
It's good to have you
Welcome,
join
Your
us.
Excellency.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Governor.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Namesake. Happy New Year.
Good to see you again.
Same here. Same here. Hi, how are you?
Very well.
Good,
We've just been talking about all of the things happening in Lagos and how you have been ensuring the transformation that you have promised for Lagos State so far. And we've been having that conversation with your namesake, because he had a conversation with you sometime last year, and so he was feeding us of some of those things that you discussed at that point. But let's begin with you now that you're here. So let's hear from you directly.
Well, I mean, thank you very much, and I want to say Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you very much for having me. You've got a wonderful space here, I must say.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This is the real Lagos. You know, you've probably just shown, you know, that there's possibility if you put your mind to it. You know,
Absolutely.
coming into your own premises here this morning.
And then you walk straight onto the set.
It speaks volumes. It speaks,
Absolutely.
you know, what the new Lagos looks like, what 2025 now also would look like. You know, so it seems to me that TVC is in tandem with Lagos State, because this is our own aspiration. It's really for us to use all of the learnings and all of the issues of 2024, right, to shape our 2025, you know, in governance, in how we prepare, you know, for the citizens, in how we give them opportunity, in how we're able to use the toughness, you know, of 2024, you know, the resilience, the very hard economic, you know, reality that we needed to face as a nation, as a subnational, right? But to be able to transit it properly, you know, into the new year and be able to tap into the benefit of it. And what do I mean? I'm sure you've been talking about all of the things that happened, you know, last year towards the end of it, all of the activity, Lagos being economic, you know, capital of the country, which we know, but more now being the entertainment, you know, capital, clearly shows that it's the diasporan population, not only from Nigeria, but the whole of, sub-Saharan Africa.
And that's a fine place to begin this conversation.